Hello, Rick. Thanks for being on this call today.
Hi there. How are you doing?
So the discussion today is a follow-up to the post I had on my LinkedIn a couple of days ago, where I asked how to reduce or even eliminate THMs. And this generated, as you saw, like 12,000 views and a lot of discussions. But before we dive into the subject, can you please introduce us to Aqua Metrology Systems and how did it start and what do you do, guys?
Right, so about 10 years ago actually this year, a team of core scientists, engineers came together and developed an online THM analyzer, which was a need in the market. And then a couple of years later, we bought a company with the trace metals. So now, again, another set of contaminants of concern that people worry about, regulators worry about. And then more recently, we've developed an in situ generator of a reagent that will remove arsenic chrome from drinking water. It's an anti-corrosion reagent for cooling systems and lead plumbing, and it will actually recover certain non-renewable resources from industrial waste. So that's our history of 10 years in 2 minutes.
That's excellent. And I see you are a very niche player. So you know, instrumentation is a crowded marketplace. There are a lot of companies around. So how do you differentiate yourself?
So firstly, there are four components to that. Firstly, we focus. And then secondly, our instruments are very accurate, precise, and reliable. So what does focus mean? We focus on online instrumentation. There are very few companies that do that and do it well. And those that do can't match us in terms of accuracy and reliability, and also availability. So you can have really good online instrumentation, but if it's not available, in other words, it falls over and is only available 50% of the time, then that data those instruments are generating is not available. So you know, there are other big players in there. You'll know them: Hark, Metro, Parker Hannifin. They can only really compete with us on price, but at the end of the day, if the instrument isn't available, the data from it isn't available and isn't reliable, then price really doesn't matter. So that's how we've managed to build a leadership position in online instrumentation.
Excellent. And one of the segments is the THM monitoring. So why do you see it as important?
So THMs are one of a large family, hundreds of what are called disinfection byproducts. And these are carcinogens. They're produced when water is chlorinated to disinfect it. And the chlorine, though, also interacts with organic content in the water. So particularly if this water is coming from a lake or a river, there's going to be organic content in there. And this produces disinfection byproducts. And governments have, because of their carcinogenic properties, have said that the consumer needs to be protected from these, and have set limits that water utilities must comply with to protect the consumer, and water mustn't be above a certain level of THMs, which is a proxy indicator of these disinfection byproducts.
What is the value of predictive analytics for THM monitoring?
So the problem begins already with the fact that if a water treatment plant's got to be compliant, it's got to know what the level of THMs are in the water that it's producing. And if it uses a laboratory, it's going to wait 2 weeks for a result, by which time it's shipped millions of gallons of water to the consumer. So using laboratories is not a solution. The only solution is real-time monitoring. But the other problem with THMs is that they're not only are very nasty contaminant, they're very tricky. So they carry on being produced from after the water has been disinfected all the way to the consumer's tap. So if what the water treatment plant really needs to know is what is going to be the levels of this carcinogen at the consumer's tap just before they consume the water. And we are able to predict and tell the utility very precisely and accurately what those levels of THMs will be 2 days later, 300 miles away, before they actually drink the water. And by using that predictive data, water utility can change its treatment system in real time, adjust it in order to prevent those THMs getting to the consumer at levels that will be prejudicial to their health. So the predictive analytics is critical to this particular contaminant. We're the only people in the world who can do it, and it's extremely valuable data for protecting human health.
I think it's excellent, especially nowadays with all the talks about digitization, you know, and all the digital water and so on. So I think it's very good to predict and not just measure the metrics. So it's really well done. I mean, it's excellent. So my last question as a CEO, I see you are strong on the technical side from your comments, interactions, and so on. So it was a question I asked my audience 2 days ago. So do you believe as a CEO to be able to lead in the water space, domain expertise is a must?
Well, absolutely. Although my colleagues would probably question my technical ability. I'm not a trained engineer, anything like that. But you've got, you know, it is a very technical subject. We've just been through some technical aspects of it, right? However, we've got a team, so you do need that understanding of the domain. And so we employ software engineers, chemical engineers, chemists, mechanical engineers to produce our products, data scientists. However, getting it to market requires technical salespeople. It requires very strong marketing. So it's about multidisciplinary. And I think as a CEO, so long as one can happily work with a multidisciplinary team, you're going to be okay. If you just focus on the technology, you're going to be limited in terms of being able to penetrate the market and be competitive and sell value, which is what this is all about.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for your time, and we stay in touch.
You're very welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.